your hands in the air. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
Mixing sodas with the beer. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
So why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
Throw your hands in the air. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
Mixing sodas with the beer. It's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
So why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
You got
What is y'all? Your social media platform artist and the host of the great YouTube channel. I'm your host, your one and the only Dr. Do here, everyone. Today's video, we're going to do another military history right here, y'all. This history video is about one Pacific conflict is still going on to this day. It happened back in the 1950s and ended back in 1953, alright? You guys might know about this history right here. Today's video, we're going to do a history about the one and the only, the Korean War. Yes, everyone. The Korean War. The war that's still going on between the North Korean government, led by the Kim Dynasty under communist rule, and the democratic nation of South Korea. These two nations still try to figure out any way to unite their nation into one Korea, either in under a communist rule or a democracy rule. Right here, y'all. This story is still happening to this day. Alright, y'all? And this is a very important thing to learn about it, alright? So before we get started, you guys new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit notification down below, comment down below, see what you guys think about my story about the Korean War right here, y'all. Y'all, before we get started, you guys want Dr. Do merch, go to Cottage Bureau to get you guys Dr. Do merch. Shirtwear, hatwear, drinkware as well. Y'all, we are still doing the Black Friday sale thing, alright? We are still doing the free shipping. Alright, y'all. We will continue the free shipping on our online till Monday, alright, y'all? Be sure to get you guys Dr. Do merch before the free sales, free shipping is over, right? You guys want the free shipping code? Right here, alright? It's thank you 25 right here, y'all. All capital thank you. In all capital right here and 25, alright? So that way you guys buy the Dr. Do merch without paying the ship fee, alright here, y'all. Y'all, do you guys want something to give you guys hydration, energy, focus, and protein? Go to Big Chart to get you guys Dr. Do powders right here, y'all. Hydration, energy, focus, protein right here, y'all. Y'all, that we're still doing the buy one get one 35% off, y'all. No code right here. We're going to continue that till Monday right here, y'all. So get yourself Dr. Do powders. Buy one get one 35% off. Doesn't matter which one you want, alright? As long as you guys enough hydration, energy, focus, and protein to get you through the whole entire day, night, work, school, or workout right here, y'all. So without further ado, let's get the party started, y'all. Let's go back to the Korean story right here, y'all. Korea had always been a main target by multiple nations, including Japan back in the 1500s. But however, back until the 20th century, Korea was taken over by the Japanese Empire back in between 1905 or 1906 right here. And Korea became a colony of Japan, of Japanese Empire, from that until 1945, when Japan surrendered to the Allied powers in World War II. At the aftermath of that, the Allies tried to figure out what to do with Korea. So the Soviet Union and the United States decided to cut Korea into two nations: the North by communism and the South by the democratic back group by U.S. in 1947, alright, y'all? And since then, when the Cold War started, both sides had been backing by both U.S. and Soviet. The Soviet appointed a leader that will continue who have began a new dynasty in North Korea, Kim Il-sung. Kim Il-sung was appointed by the Soviet Union in order to make Korea into a good leadership by him. They believe that he will become a best appointed communist leader of Korea. And also, they have the Soviets decided to do something for North Korea by giving them equipment like weapons, tanks, training, all of that stuff. While the South appointed another South Korean leader, Ray Hee. I forgot. I didn't. Sorry, y'all, that I had to butcher the name, but he became appointed by the U.S. government in South Korea. Both sides have been boiling have the grudge against each other from 1947, and then a tipping point happened when Kim Il-sung and the North Korean military and the government want to invade Korea and unite Korea into a one singular communist nation right here. And they've been preparing for themselves to invade South Korea from 1943 till July 25th, 1950, right here, y'all. Kim Il-sung and the Korean military have launched their own blitzkrieg invasion of South Korea. South Korea wasn't prepared, alright? They didn't have that much military equipment, or they were not prepared for a battle against the North Korean. They were caught off surprise. Alright? From 1925 to 1928, the North Korean army had took it over the capital of South Korea. Seoul, right here, y'all. And that they led enforcing the whole entire, not just the South Korean forces, also some of the UN soldiers that were in South Korea, put them back, alright? And the one who lead the whole entire US army, led by MacArthur. You guys don't know who MacArthur is? He's the one who led the US military in the Pacific against the Japanese and forced Japan to surrender. And also now, back then, US had occupied Japan and rebuilding the nation itself. And following the news about the North Korean invasion in South Korea, MacArthur tried to assemble his forces on Japan and send them in South Korea in order to halt the North Korean forces in South Korea, which they tried to do their best. They will put all the way back to the Busan River right here. You guys don't know the Busan River is the area where they were on the edge of the South Korean territory right here. And since then, the U.S. and the U.S. forces try to get everything ready up and try to prepare themselves, while the North Korean forces and the Soviet and Chinese forces try to figure out a way to break through the Busan River right here. And so the North Korean forces tried to push themselves into the Busan River, but unsuccessfully didn't take it at all. It forced them to lose thousands of their forces and their tanks along with it. And following that, around September, right here, y'all, the McCarthy and the army and his forces of 21 countries from the UN had landed into the Incheon area. You know what that is? And the Busan forces. And so, following after that, they had enough men, better equipment, and better tanks to face off against the North Koreans' forces, alright? And so, around September, the whole entire UN forces had managed to beaten and force out the North Korean army out of South Korea and force them back to the 38th parallel. It was crazy for them to win an easy fight against North Koreans, because they not all the way prepared against the UN forces, with also including the fact that their tank they had, T-34 tank, which considered the most dominant tank of World War II at the time, had been beaten the crap out of by a newer UN tank, the T-26 heavy tank right here. That tank is more advanced and more equipped tank-on-tank combat, and resulted in many of their North Korean tanks being destroyed as well. It was an embarrassment for the North Korean forces to be put out of South Korea. All right, And then MacArthur decided whether or not to try to do another thing right here, is to invade North Korea. He tried to tell every member of the group that in order for them to win this war, in order to make sure that the North Korean army would not do it again, they decided, you know what? He liked it. You know what? We could do this. We could take the North Korean territory once and for all. They thought at first the U.S. forces thought they were going to be done with the war by Christmas, but however, they launched their attack on North Korea. All right, y'all. Around September, pushing them all the way to the mountains area of North Korea and taking Pyongyang, capturing over 165,000 North Koreans in that capital, and also killing thousands of Korean forces in that conflict as well. MacArthur believed that the Soviet and China would not intervene with their fight right here. But however, MacArthur was wrong about that, because between October and December, the Chinese forces led by Mao Zedong had decided, you know what, we should intervene, pushing themselves into war against the army of the UN forces. So China decided they declare war on the US and launched their forces into North Korea, helping the North Korean army try to take back the territory as well. And also some air support from the Soviets as well. And eventually they managed to put the U.S. and the UN forces all the way out of North Korea. But however, around that time, in somewhere around January and July, they've been trying to put each other in a way to try to see who will win, and also who will try to take who will take North Korea or the South Korean territory. But however, between 1951 all the way to 1953, U.S. and UN and the Chinese North Korean forces were in a stalemate. They were in a stalemate for 3 years. Eventually, in 1950, around that time, MacArthur resigned as the commander of the U.S. and UN forces around the time. Instead of being booed by the people, they celebrated MacArthur's return home after being resigned by both Truman and between Truman and Eisenhower administration. All right, and so after that, the U.S. around 1953, the U.S. and U.S., UN, China, and North Korea decided to make peace, make an armistice. They both decided that they could release their prisoners of war to each other, also ending the conflict once and for all. It was crazy for both sides. Like 3 years of fighting each other in that war. Like there were hundreds of thousands of lives lost. I mean, like around 500,000 lives lost. All right, mostly on the North Korean side, they said it meant that between 1 million Korean forces lost their lives, including 200,000 Chinese forces lost their lives. But U.S. and the UN lost not that much in the conflict against the North Korean Chinese forces in that conflict. All right, and following the aftermath about that, Kim Il Sung his grip on North Korea for good, create the Kim Dynasty. All right, and also isolate North Korea from the whole entire world. No internet, no talking to each other, no phone call to their family one from South Korea. You know, there's no escape for the people in North Korea. All right. Till this day, Kim Il Sung's grandson Kim Jong Un is still in power. All right. And also became a terrible situation for North Korea because they are having they're having problems like starvation, economy problem, and also military police force, and also they've been watching their people all over North Korea. All right, and then you got South Korea today. Today's modern day South Korea is doing good. Their leadership is trying to be a great one. And also their economy is doing a lot better as well. The population double in size, and also the South Korean military getting better, bigger, and stronger, and more advanced to this day right here, y'all. Alright? this is North Korea had created their own nuclear weapons under Kim Jong-un regime right here, causing the UN to be worried about what the North Korean going to do in the future with those nukes. We still try to know more information about that. And also, there were some story about North Koreans opening their doors to the public, to foreigners to come to Pyongyang, and also the places they have built for vacationing as well. Alright? You know, I guess that Kim Jong-un trying to do his best to try to get some foreigner to see and how North Korea is doing great to this day, even though they're not doing it great behind the shadows right here, y'all. And there you have it. This is the history of the Korean War right here, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope y'all have a great day. Please subscribe to this channel. Hit notification down below. Comment down below. See what you guys think about my history video about the Korean War right here, y'all. And I hope y'all have a great day. See you guys next time right here, y'all.